Okay, hello. Nice and simple. Work proposal for NBC. Boom, there you go. It's in this new book I got. Green means go, NBC. Let's get this going, NBC. This is the second take. I'm going to see how this one goes. I'm going to post both of them. I'm going to try to cover all the information. I have all the information written in the book. Just there's a music playing in the previous one. I want to make sure I cover all the information that I need to cover. And then I want to get this going. I want to get some traction. And there's a couple other additional notes that I have here. So, work proposal for NBC. All right, this is going to be just like I proposed in the video, in my notes in the work proposal, that once a week I meet with either a creative person or a point person to review the work that I've done out the week. And it'll be like a 20-minute thing, either on Saturday morning or Sunday before church, with coffee and donuts. So basically, this would be the exact same situation right here, except this is just over a video, and this is what I'm proposing. Okay, so work proposal for NBC. Let's get this going, NBC. So I'm going to go over goals, sample itinerary for the first 3 to 4 days to the first week at least. Some of the things that I want to do, why I think it's important to get a routine going. Okay, then I'm also going to review the previous video, which has all pertinent information, and actually the 3 previous videos. So the previous one is Angela Images 1/14/10 from January 14, 2010, and that was an update video for the letters to AOC and Taylor Swift. So those are 3 videos right there. Angela Images video, that's on my YouTube page. The link is on my Facebook page if there's shadow ban in it. That's what I said in the previous video. I'm going to cover all this information. But so the Angela Images, there's the letters to AOC and letters to Taylor Swift. And those are on my Facebook page, and there's the YouTube links on my IMDb page. They're posted underneath the comments, and they're on my YouTube page, the videos. Okay, all right. So a review. There is a timeline on my main page on my Facebook from Silver Screen, the first movie making experience that I had when I was in college. Under that main comment on my Facebook page, there is a timeline of highlights from my acting, artist, and photography career from high school to Nashville when I worked on the show Nashville. So it's from working in Maryland, driving to Baltimore and Philadelphia and Maryland to work on sets when I was in college. It covers the highlights from that time period to Los Angeles, working in Los Angeles sets every day for the first 3 years. It covers that. It covers friends that I had, actor friends, several different time periods of my Los Angeles experience, and then moving to Atlanta, and then working on Nashville, and the 3 to 5 auditions I was doing a week on camera, and then the 6 speaking roles that I booked when I was in Atlanta. So it goes from high school to Nashville, and it's a 20-year time period. You know what I mean? So that timeline is on my main page, on my Facebook page. It's under the Groundlings timestamp. I went to the Groundlings in Los Angeles. Adam Driver turned around and went home. That comment timestamp, the timeline's under that. It's also under the curriculum timestamp on the Angela videos. So you can just see the timeline, and there's highlights. You know what I mean? It's just like there's other work that I have that is not listed there. That's just the highlights. Like I did 1 of 2 plays in high school, 1 of 2 plays in college, and I posted those images, right? It's just like there's some filmography that I posted from my IMDb page, but it's just a timeline to show that it's just like I've been an actor, artist, photographer. It shows the copyright and photo album 2010, 2011 copyrighted images that all the actresses are copying. I've listed that to also show my photography skills that I've learned in college, right? So it's just like I didn't, and it shows my desk in 2016 with the published story with all my written works. So it's like I'm an industrious guy, I'm a talented guy, and instead of like Taylor Swift and those women like utilizing my materials, it's just like I need to get paid in an office. It's just like this Kate Bush thing is done and over with. It's like Justin M. Alvarez, need to get hired and paid, right? And I'm going to get into that in a minute, but the timeline's up there. Okay, so and all those images are on my IMDb page as well, and I've emailed all pertinent information, photographs I've emailed that to myself as well, so I can put that on others. So it's like there's copies of it. It's on my Facebook page, my IMDb page. I have 400 images on my IMDb page, and then I've emailed that information to myself as well, and the New York Times and New York Post, and Kylie Cassiano, and other people that I met in the industry. So like people have that information. I've emailed it to them, right? It's like I've emailed it to news organizations, the New York Times, New York Post, friends in the entertainment industry, people that I've known. You know what I mean? They've received the emails. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I've made all this information public. So it's just like, so people have the information. Okay. Also note, there are still movies, actors, and artists that I have not yet listed that have utilized my materials for their own filmmaking endeavors and pursuits. So under the Spider-Man post on my Facebook page, and I've listed this on my IMDb page as well, I listed Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Reynolds, Colin Farrell is a great one. You know what I mean? Like people who have copied, utilized time periods of my life, things that I've done, experiences that I've had, artwork that I've produced, and they've made their own artwork. You know what I mean? It's like I'm flattered. You know what I mean? I said Jordan Peterson, that was a great one to do. You know, Jordan Peterson, like who doesn't? What guy doesn't like Jordan Peterson? He's like an awesome, like intellectual, like almost like father, like you know, spiritually like a grandfather type figure who's a great role model, and he copied one of my images. So it's just like that's like a huge blessing. You know what I mean? I'm super grateful for that. And I said I just need to get paid. You know what I mean? It's like, as like Natasha Lyonne. If Natasha Lyonne is picking on me, that's fine when I have an office at Rockefeller Center and hanging out with the people from NBC and doing work and being successful and producing things. You know what I mean? It's like that's okay to do that then, but not when she's stealing my stuff and I'm like struggling to get things going. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, it's that Kate Bush thing. They want, I'm gonna get to this, it's like the women I think want the men, they steal their stuff, so then the men have to fight for their own existence when like they've already done this. I've done this. I was trailblazing when I was like still in college from 2003, 2004. You know what I mean? Like moving up to LA. Like I've already inspired people. You know what I mean? It's like I've already been a trailblazer. And they want me to do it again? You know what I mean? It's kind of like I need to get paid for the work that they're already copying and stealing. This is illegal that this is even happening right now, right? It's kind of like I need to be getting paid for my works that they're making money off of. I'm an actor and artist just like they are, and it's arguable more talented than they are because they're copying my stuff. And I've been doing it when they were still, you know, still living at home. I was out in LA doing things, you know what I mean? So, or going to New York, handling my business, you know what I mean? So it's like, I need to get paid, please. I mean, that's what this is. Eventually, that's what's going to happen. So, okay, anyway. So, so there's still actors and artists that I haven't even listed yet, but I have notated them. So, like, the actors, just like, I just made like I notated it. Those male actors have copied my work. They have portrayed me in SNL skits, movies, and TV shows. And eventually, I'm going to post all this up. But all the information's on my IMDb page. So it's just a matter of connecting the dots. Like that timeline that I did, I will continue to do that. You know what I mean? Or I can just get hired and make work and be a successful actor, artist, photographer, person guy. You know what I mean? It's like there's models for that already in existence. Just turn on the television. You know what I mean? It's like, and they're utilizing my materials already. So it's like we've never heard of Saturday Night Live. We never heard of Russian Doll. You know what I mean? It's like my materials are show worthy. And now I need to get paid for it, and I need to be continuing to do my work. I have fantastic ideas. I'm always writing ideas. There's scripts that I've written. You know what I mean? It's like there's ideas I still want to work on. Anyway, I'm going to get to that. Anyway, so it's a matter of connecting dots. Okay, so also I just reposted this because I have this as important because I'm monitoring their page to see what they're doing and seeing that they're watching my stuff. There's a Taylor Swift Nashville clip from 2006 that I posted on my page. That's under the lawyer comment section, and that's going to be also under the New York Times, New York Post post that I have on my Facebook page. There's a Taylor Swift from 2006 Nashville, and she like exact match copied one of my short films to the Beverly Hills Playhouse, which is like SNL quality short films that they now are making money off of. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and those were acting exercises for an acting class, and it was supervised, and it's like it was showcased for a teacher, professional actor in Los Angeles while Adam Driver was driving home. You know what I mean? Like I was in LA making things. Right? Okay. So that Taylor Swift clip image is up there. I haven't posted it to my IMDb page yet, but I emailed it to myself. It's on my Facebook page. People have seen it. So and it exists. And the short film that she copied is on my Facebook page, my YouTube page, and my IMDb page. Right? So like eventually this is going to come full circle, and you guys are like, we need to pay that guy. You know what I mean? So it's like, and we can spin this in a positive way that you're just trying to showcase my talents, so then it'd be easier for me to be successful. So that's what we need to do. That I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? But since like I need to not be fighting for my very existence. I need to be writing and getting paid to be a creative person, because I'm writing and doing things creatively, and other people are taking it and they're getting paid. That's un-American, right? And I said this before. So anyway, okay, perfect. Here we go. Note, I also want to say that the only acting that I've ever done was on a stage, or in front of a camera, or in front of an acting teacher and acting students in an acting class, right? Like I said, I just don't go around pretending that I'm other people. You know what I mean? It's like it's for creatively, and I would do it for a camera, or on the stage, or I would do something, take a photograph of it, or do it on a film and showcase it, put it on a demo reel, put it on a photo on the IMDb page. And like I said, I've done character studies. There's a guy that I did with a mustache. So it was on an independent film. He was like a 70s rock star type guy, and I grew out a mustache, and I did like the wardrobe, and I took photographs of it, and then I did a short an independent film where I played that character, and a music video where I played that character. So, and the other thing with Ugly Betty, I mentioned also completely different character. The character on Ugly Betty that I was featured on Ugly Betty with, the guy was funky, trendy suits, and he was more like cosmopolitan, more New York as opposed to Texas. Like the guy with the mustache, retro 70s, would be more of like a Texas feel vibe, as opposed to like a New York, like metropolitan, like working at a newspaper or a magazine in New York, right? So they're different vibes. So, and then with those images, with those character studies, I made postcards at modernpostcard.com. I still have some of them, and I would email them to every casting director in Los Angeles for years. And that's why I was always working on set. I was always working as a SAG actor, either on commercials or SAG films, television shows, music videos. So I was always working on set. I was always making a SAG rate, working on set, and then I was always like either in a class or working with an excellent photographer. I was always doing something for my career while Adam Driver was driving home, right? So it's kind of like I was doing things, and so now they're copying my work from that time period and multiple time periods of what I've been doing in the entertainment industry. I just need to be recognized and paid for it. So it's just like, it needs to be America. This Kate Bush nonsense is over. It's ceasing and desisting right now, right? You're not going to steal from people anymore, right? It's like you need to recognize the person who's actually creating the content, right? Because we live in America. It's not like, I said to someone, it's not Transylvania 1492. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that's what they want it to be. No, this is America 2023, right? The light and the sun is shining, right? We're not living in Transylvania, all right? Okay, so of course they would want it to be that. That's because the type of people that they are in their brains. Okay, I said I am the real deal, right? And there's people who would, you know, say that. They would say that I am the real deal. You know what I mean? And I have been since college, when I first went to Los Angeles in 2003 for the 2-week acting class, where I've maintained friendships with several of those people. Women are so funny. Anyway, so I should get hired by one of those entities. That just makes sense. Or I'm going to take it to court eventually, make a bunch of money, get my own equipment, make things, because I'm an artist. I'm always constantly making and creating things, right? Because I want to be a successful individual and work well with others and create things and be an actor, artist, producer, photographer guy living in America. And there's models for that, and that's why I started out and thought it was okay to start out my journey 20 years ago, because I'm like, oh, if I work hard, I'll be successful. That's not true, because people are going to steal your stuff, and they're going to try to make up things about you or try to get you on something so they can continue stealing your work. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not running for office. I'm running for an office at NBC, right? So it's like, and they're utilizing my materials. So it's like, this is a no-brainer. It's like, right away, I should get contacted by them. Like, Natasha Leone should be walking over here right now with a cup of coffee from Starbucks. One for me and one from her. Right? It's kind of like, and then I need to get on a plane and get to NYC. Right? It's kind of like, otherwise, eventually I'm going to take this to court. I'm going to get paid. I'm gonna make stuff. Those entities are gonna want to copy my stuff again. You know what I mean? It's a full circle thing. We should just do the best thing and the right thing, which is I need to get hired and paid for my materials that other people are making money off of. Right? Okay. All right. So I spoke to a woman named Giota. It sounds like Yoda when she says it. She's Greek, and she says, "Why do you think they're doing that?" And I said, "Well, it's because one reason is I think that they don't want the powers that be. They don't want a male." Pablo Picasso or William Shakespeare to exist in this time period, someone who creates his own stuff. So they're taking what I'm doing, giving to other actors and artists, like those male actors that I mentioned, Taylor Swift, there's others, Selena Gomez, I haven't even mentioned her until right now, but there's other female artists that they're utilizing my materials and they're giving it to them. It's kind of like, I need to get paid for those materials. It's kind of like, there's laws in America, intellectual property laws, copywritten laws. It's like, that's what needs to happen. So it's like, so either they don't want a William Shakespeare or Pablo Picasso or something like that to exist, so they're taking what I'm doing, what I've done, and they're giving it to other people, right? Or the women or the creators, they don't, it's like someone like me isn't allowed to be a success. And I'm like, well, what is that? Someone like me. And I wrote, an American citizen, born and raised in America, who has taken more classes and put more work into my career than anyone that I know or have met or have even heard of in the industry ever. So they're copying my stuff and then making me fight for it, like Kate Bush running up the hill. So like, oh, well, maybe he's not as tall as one of those actors. Well, neither's Elijah Wood. Tom Cruise is 5'7". So it's kind of like, oh, well, he's not Ryan Reynolds height. Neither's Tom Cruise. Oh, shut up. It's like, oh, well, he's not, how tall is the other one? It's like, oh, well, how tall is Elijah Wood? Or Shia LaBeouf? Or James Franco. I just met James Franco the other day. So it's just kind of like, it's like, they're stealing my materials, giving it to other people. It's like, oh, shut up. Tom Cruise is 5'7", isn't he? He's a billionaire, right? It's kind of like, so, they're making me fight for my stuff. They're taking my stuff and they're making me do double the amount of work, and that shouldn't be. It should be like I should be contacted immediately. Justin, we have an office where we have a desk and some space for you at Rockefeller Center. So this is part of the work proposal, or maybe they just needed me to get to the work proposal. But it's like, how many videos have I made in the past 6 months that they're using my stuff, and eventually they're gonna be like, yeah, we're using your stuff. It's like, because all the images are up there, I'm gonna start connecting the dots, and eventually people are gonna be like, you're using that guy's stuff, and one person needs to look at it and be like, what are you doing that for? Like, people already, I can tell people on my Facebook page, they're already going out and they're creating things and they're doing things on their main profile picture. So people are seeing my materials and they're on my side. Like the public, like people, like actual American citizens, they're seeing what I'm doing. They're on my side already. I can tell that. I scroll through my Facebook page and like they're seeing what I'm doing and they're recreating, they're copying things to show me, because I know they're not letting comments go through on my Facebook page. So I wrote, I am a dynamic individual and I make dynamic art and photographs and I see things in a dynamic way, right? Matched with my education and training and willingness to take risks and my faith in God makes me a very dynamic, talented, capable individual. The Spider-Man movies are based off of my life experiences, right? So, and SNL is copying my work, right? As well as other actors and artists and entities. So it's like, I'm a dynamic individual, and I'll get to one of my essence statements as well that I got from, I did an image workshop with Sam Christensen in Atlanta. There was like 25, 30 actors, artists, and some spokespeople that were there. Took this image workshop, and basically what it is like, they would do a series of questions, they'd look at our resume, the photographs, and they'd give you like, oh, you remind me of this person, or you'd be good to be doing that type of product, or, if you did your pitch like this. So basically, I have essence statements. I'll get to one of those, but one of my positive affirmations that I just notate is, I am a dynamic individual and my art is dynamic, and I take photographs and I see things in a dynamic way, and that's why they're copying my work, right? It's like, I need to get paid for that work. All right, here we go. Goals. NBC. Let's get this going, NBC. All right, here we go. All right, so to get list. Camera, routine, situated, tour the stages, take notes, meet people, review. All right, so that's a to-do list. So camera, for instance, I would start taking photographs immediately upon arriving in New York. Start taking photographs immediately. I would get a routine for the first. That would do the same thing almost every single day for at least the first 3 to 4 days for the first week, just to get settled in, to get a routine, to get situated. I would tour the stages and facilities, all the stages, all the facilities. All right, perfect. There we go. Okay, so that's the to-do list. Boom. Camera, routine, situated, tour the stages. All right, here we go. Sample itinerary. Next page, right there. All right. Morning. And I did one of these for Cecily Strong, one of the first videos I made, but it's like, this is specifically for NBC and what I'd be doing in New York every day, what my day would look like. This is what the itinerary is. This is my proposal. This is what my work, how I would be working, what I'm going to be doing, so you guys know what type of an actor, artist, worker, person that I am. And there's a photograph of my desk in 2016 when I first became a published author. All the written works that's on my desk, the cameras that I was doing, or the lighting and camera setup from the 3 to 5 on-camera auditions I was doing a week from the years 2013 to 2018. I photographed that. That's on my IMDb page and my Facebook page. So it's like you can see the type of work that I do. I'm an industrious guy. I'm constantly working. I went to school for photography, digital imaging, visual communications, video editing, filmmaking, and I was doing theater and acting in school and out of school. And when I said in theater and real world acting means on a set, as opposed to at a school in a theater on a stage. It's on a set in Baltimore or Philadelphia and getting a check for it, getting a real world check, as opposed to doing it for an acting class in college or for your community theater, right? So it's like, that's what I meant by real world acting. Okay, all right. So it's just like, I'm an actor. I'm not reinventing the wheel. They're just trying to reinvent the wheel because they don't want to pay me, and that's going to cease and desist. I'm going to get paid, right? Or I'm going to expose what they're doing. So, and hopefully it's just like, we just wanted to do this to make sure that you're shining as bright as you could, Justin, right? Which I'm okay. I just this needs to happen fast, right? Because it's just like, that's what needs to happen. All right. So in the morning, I would get coffee. First thing in the morning, get coffee. I would hang out at a coffee shop. That's just my style. That's my speed. I would find a coffee shop. I would pick one by the park. When I in a meditation and an imagining session that I was doing, I'd want to go to a coffee shop. I'd pick a coffee shop by the park so I could be with people, meet some people as I was be doing that throughout my daily routine. I would take photographs of what I'm doing, just to kind of like get the feel of the place. That's what I do when I first go to a city. And I've been to several cities pursuing my acting career. Los Angeles, Atlanta, went to Nashville briefly, but I was there. So I would write, constantly writing. So number 1, get coffee. Number 2, hang out at a coffee shop. I'd pick one by the park. Number 3, take photographs. 4, write. All right. I would hang out on the stages. I'm just showing you these pages as I go. All right. I would hang out on the stages. I think it's very important. 6, I would write again. Lunch. Number 7, somewhere I would find at the time. I'd go get lunch somewhere. Number 8, I'd get somewhere with a view, somewhere where I could take in the entirety of the city from a higher altitude. I love views, right? So it's like ground level coffee shops, on the stages, somewhere where I'd be working, and then like get an overview of the place where I'm living and working, to kind of see if what ideas might want to come. Okay, so number 9, take more photographs of the stages and facilities. Number 10, have a casual dinner with someone, right? To sort of hang out, get to know the place, maybe talk about some of the work they did. Number 11, very important, spend time at St. Patrick's Cathedral. There's something there. Just in my imaginings and my meditation session that I did, there's something at St. Patrick's Cathedral, and there's something about touring and walking through those empty stages, getting a feel of what's been done there before, what they're doing there now, and maybe what might want to come into existence. You know what I mean? So kind of like get a feel for the place, tour the empty stages, walk across the street, or I think it's a few blocks down to St. Patrick's Cathedral, and then kind of get a sense and a feel about what might want to happen there. And then number 12, review my work and tasks of the day. Okay, so 12 points there that I want to do. Okay, so and that would be, and I'll make a note of this and I'll write this down there so you guys can see. So number 1, get coffee. Number 2, hang out at a coffee shop by the park. Number 3, take photographs. Number 4, write. Number 5, hang out on the stages. Number 6, write. Number 7, lunch. 8, get to a view. Number 9, take more photographs of the stages and facilities. Number 10, have a casual dinner with someone. Number 11, spend time at St. Patrick's Cathedral. And number 12, review my work and tasks for the day. And that might be either in my office or on the stages, or maybe it'd be at St. Patrick's Cathedral. So then at the end of the week review, I propose that I review my materials once a week. It's a 20-minute meeting, very casual, coffee, donuts, either Saturday morning or on Sunday before church. Review my work. These are the photographs that I took. These are the ideas that I have. These are the scenes that I've already started working on. This is an idea I have for a new project. To review that with those people, to be like, this is where I am, this is what I'm doing, and I want to show this to you guys. And then, think about it, give me some notes and feedback, and then I'll see you guys next week, and we'll talk more, and I'll show you what I come up with, right? Right, and I have a photograph of Kylie Castellano sitting on my desk in Atlanta, and just after I became a published author, and showing her all my work, showing her all the cool stuff that I'm working on. She was hanging out with me there, and so it would basically be that very casual. This is what I'm working on. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want to accomplish. All right, let's get this going, NBC. Okay, so all right, this use it, and it got to be. The easiest thing would be so it's before church. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like. So it's 20 minutes, and that way, like, guys, I'd love to chat with you, longer, but it's just like I got to get to church. You know what I mean? It's the Lord's Day. Okay, so and then also through that meeting, I would be notating and mentioning. I think I already covered this, but I will show you what I wrote down. It's writing, it's content, it's creating, it's producing work, making things, developing things, seeing what wants to be created or come into existence, and that's sharing those ideas and that work, and then moving forward and getting that idea and work done. Okay, so, and I'll say that the reason why I want to do the coffee by the park in the mornings, the photographing, the writing, and then photographing and writing on the stages is because, and this is going to get into the essence statement, I am a dynamic individual, and I make dynamic art and photographs, and I see things in a dynamic way. Matched with my education and training and willingness to take risks and my faith in God makes me a very dynamic, talented, capable individual. And one of my essence statements that Sam Christensen gave me at his image workshop is, when you need a knight and a ninja. That's one of my 7 essence statements. When you need a knight and a ninja. And I'll review at a later date what those other essence statements are, but that's one of my favorite ones, and I did that in 2016 at his image workshop. So it matches really well with I am a dynamic individual that I just kind of came up with. And then it's like when you need a knight and a ninja. Spider-Man movies are copying my life experiences and my works and things that I've done, right? Because when you need a knight and a ninja, I am a dynamic individual. The Spider-Man movies are copying my Justin M. Alvarez's real life experience and work histories and resumes, right? So because it's just like that, you know what I mean? It's just like Adam Driver turned around and went home. I stayed in Los Angeles. They're not making movies about that guy. You know what I mean? They're hiring that guy to portray me in movies. So it's like I'm the one who needs to get paid. All right. So, okay. So my materials are show-worthy, right? So Natasha Leone, maybe she's like, that guy's stuff is show-worthy. You know what I mean? Like his photograph plot points that he had on the wall when Kylie Castellano went to visit him in his office. You know what I mean? My copywritten photographs from 2010, 2011. My short films that I made. My SNL-style short films that I made. You know what I mean? It's like somebody said that they're like, oh, we thought one of them was a documentary. I woke up in my apartment that I was living in with my roommate and my girlfriend at the time. I put on wardrobe, and I went out and I filmed a scene, got out of the wardrobe, got into normal clothes, started reviewing the footage, went to work on Brothers and Sisters or Alias the next day. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and then I showcase what I've edited to the class the following week. Actor. There's other actors in Los Angeles. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not the only actor. So anyway, she utilized my 3 short films at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, and that was just something I was 20-something years old. It was 2005, so I would have been 2004, 22. So I was 23 years old. You know what I mean? Just right out of college. They were hilarious, like SNL style short films that I, by the second one that I did, the third one that I did, I approached people in class. I said, hey, do you guys want to? And they said yes. It's basically, do you guys want to be in my next short? And they said yes, immediately, every single person. So that's why I think it's important to be at NBC, working at NBC. So if I have like ideas, I either write them or be like, hey man, grab your camera, let's go do something. You know what I mean? It's like, because I got to show these people next week an idea that I have that I want to do like for real, but let's just go do this so we can present it to them, right? So it's like, that's why I think it's important to be in that environment. Because when I was at Cecil Community College, they have state-of-the-art facilities, and I actually have notes of this that I want to do this at a later video, but it's like, I want to like mentally tour the facilities at Cecil Community College, which is now Cecil College. But it's like they have state-of-the-art like a photography lab. It's not like a film lab. They have like one film processing room. I don't even know if that still works, but it's like state-of-the-art Apple equipment. You know what I mean? Like the Apple computers, desktop computers, state-of-the-art equipment. It's like Final Cut Pro, Final Drafts, Photoshop. I don't know if they have Avid or whatever, but it's like they have state-of-the-art equipment. When I was there 20 years ago, right? It's just like I love touring like the equipment rooms, looking at all the cameras, video cameras and actual photography cameras that people could check out, the editing rooms, and then match that going on to the theater stage where I did 2 shows at Cecil Community College. So it's like I love that. You know what I mean? It's like, and then when it's time to make something, I made short films. There, I made a music video, I did trailers, I made short films. One of them was comedic, it was hilarious. So it's like just being in that environment, it's like stuff gets done. I have ideas, I make things. That's one of the times I went to New York to film scenes for a trailer that I was making in college. So, and I still have that footage on my hard drives, hard drive gold, right? It's a golden hard drive, right? That they need to start paying me for because it's my work. All right, so it just makes sense, NBC. The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree from my hometown of Elkton, Maryland, right? Natasha Leone utilizing my materials, photographs, short films, photograph plot points. It means that I'm an actor, I'm a photographer, I'm a creative person. I create things. I need to be paid and compensated for that work. And Natasha Leone is a fan of my work. Thanks, Natasha. So is NBC. So is SNL. Right, from the short films that I did from the first time when I was 23, 24 years old. Right, and I was doing, like I said in the previous video, I was doing other characters. Right, it's like the character studies that I was doing from the independent film. Right, Ugly Betty character. Those are different characters. The character I did in Silver Scream, the character that I did in The Wickets, right? It's more of like, it says, opposed to New York would be the Ugly Betty. The Wickets would be the guy from Texas, right? Like the guy going to the haunted house and like fighting zombies. Like that would be the guy from Texas. Ugly Betty would be the guy from New York, right? I can play both characters, right? And I have, right? And the guy from the 70s or the guy from like, what other time period, it would be a modern time period, hanging out with all my friends up on the mountain, right? All my actor friends. Okay, so my materials are show worthy. So let's get this going, NBC. What to do? I just need an email, right? I went to New York all by myself at 17 years old, all by myself. To see the ball drop, 1999 and 2000. I just need an email and I can get to New York. That's what it is, right? At 17, I found my way to New York and I got myself to Times Square to watch the ball drop. At 17 years old, all I need is an email. I need is like a thumbs up. That's all I need. So, or send Natasha Leone my way with a cup of coffee, and we'll get this done, right? So it's very, very simple, right? And we can figure everything else out after that. It's just getting in the door and starting to work, get these materials, starting to produce and make some of these materials, because it's like they're already using them. So it's like my materials already are like they're profitable. They're already making money. They're already utilizing my materials to make like major shows, and male actors have already portrayed me in movies and television shows. So it's like this just makes sense. And then it's like, and we're starting to get it back to the real world. Like the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, they did pick it from Elkton, Maryland, my hometown, where I started my acting career 20 years ago, right? So it kind of went full circle, right? So now it's just like whatever needs to happen, people need to start speaking up. Right, that's another thing I want to say. People need to start speaking up because somebody's not getting the message, and I need to start getting paid. Right, it's like the Kate Bush running up the hill, stealing the moment. That needs to cease and desist immediately, and people need to start speaking up. And if somebody's afraid of something or hesitant, get me on your side, because every single thing. Number one, they're stealing, and they're blackmailing, if that's what they're doing. Right. So if anyone's afraid or timid about something, they're stealing and they're blackmailing. Right, and that needs to stop and cease. That needs to cease and desist, and I need to start getting paid. Right, so like, oh well, we think that you drank the entire bar under the table that one night, and people might think that's awesome, or they might have a problem with that. So, Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh, and so that means that that means that we can continue stealing your materials. No, it doesn't. That's going to cease and desist, and I'm a sober individual, and I don't need to, like, it shouldn't have to get to the point where I'm saying, what is everybody in NBC sober? Is everybody at NBC sober? And should it matter if they're sober or not? If they have jobs, don't they? Is Ryan Reynolds sober? Is Irish Colin Farrell sober? That shouldn't matter, should it? Right? So now we're starting to, so they have jobs, don't they? Is Taylor Swift sober? She's certainly not acting like it if she's stealing my materials, right? Is that a sober quality to have? Somebody stealing somebody's materials? Right? That's not a sober quality to have, stealing somebody's materials. So hopefully they're doing it because we want to shine a light on how talented this person is, how dedicated he is to his craft, and we've been trying to see how we can utilize his raw materials and to see if they're show worthy. They are. We vetted him. He checks out, and now there's your desk and office. We'll see you next week. You know, when at your 20-minute review meeting that we're going to have with coffee and donuts. You can tell us what you're working on, what you want to do in the next week, right? So it's like, that's what it should be. If it's anything other than that, it's not sober, right? And why do I have to say it? Because we're stealing your materials, Justin, and we're trying to find a way to continue to steal your materials because we don't want you to be successful for some reason. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, so no, sorry, you drank the entire bar under the table that one night. That was then. This is now. You're stuck in the drunk-a-log. And then what happened? Oh, then you got sober with rock stars and celebrities. Oh, shut up. Are you sober? Are you guys sober? No, we're not. We're stealing your materials. Why does it even need to get that far? It shouldn't have to get that far, right? Anyway, so I'm the real deal, and I need to start getting paid, and it needs to happen fast, because eventually it's going to be like, I'm going to take it to court, and other people are going to be like, you need to pay that guy, and stop stealing that guy's stuff, because it's not even sober, it's criminal, right? There's a difference. So let's just keep this on the light side, right? Let's keep this party polite, right? And it's up to you, New York. Let's get this going, NBC, right? It's like all the elements are there. I just need an email address, or Natasha or Natasha Leone needs to come meet me with a cup of coffee. Then I can get to New York and we can handle this, right? So that's what we need to do. Let's get it done. I'm going to post all this information. I'm going to continue posting all the information, and eventually it's going to be like, it's going to be undeniable, and then people on both sides are going to be looking at each other and being like, we're stealing that guy's stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, don't let it get that far. Just hire. I'm telling you what's going to happen, because I've already done this, and it's going to go like it's going to come back around in a circle. You guys I just need to get hired, like right now, like immediately. If you're seeing this video, start figuring out who you need to get to email me. Somebody at NBC, a creative point person, send me an email or make me a video. Say, yeah, we can't wait for you to show up, Justin. We can't wait for you to show up. Just make a video, post it on Google. Justin, we got a spot for you. JAM, Jam. That's my JAM. That's my Justin Matthew Alvarez, JMA, right? They're already doing it, but I need to get the green light. I'm going to show up in New York, and I'm going to start working, and we're going to start getting this done, right? Because that's what needs to happen. So that's my work proposal. Anyway, NBC, green means go. I'm going to sign this to somebody, whoever my point person is. I'm going to give it to them, and it'll be in their, they can have it in their office. These are the notes that Justin took while he was fighting for his life, like the Wicked style. You know what I mean? That zombie movie that I did. Kate Bush running up the hill. I just need to get paid. You know what I mean? Why? Because I'm a man. That's what I said. I was like, tell Taylor Swift to get a job. Stop stealing my materials. That should be Taylor Swift has a job from my work. Tell Cecily Strong to get a job. Cecily Strong had a job at SNL from my work, right? So it's kind of like, tell Melissa Villasenor to get a job. She also had a job at SNL from my work, right? It's kind of like, I need to get paid, and I'm the one who needs to get hired. So what are they doing that for? You know what I mean? It's like, I need to get paid and hired. Tell those women to get a job, because they're stealing my materials. Hopefully, it's just because they wanted to highlight my talent and my marketability, you know, and that my materials are show worthy, right? And it should never have gotten to this point. I've been making videos now for 6 months. It's kind of like, and eventually people are seeing myself, and eventually be like, we need to pay that guy, or we should, because eventually it's going to get to the point where like, no. Eventually, I'm going to get paid. And people were like, no, they were robbing that guy. They're stealing his stuff, right? Or they were just trying to highlight his talent until he would get his office and desk job at not desk job, but get a job at NBC, right? producing, making things, creating things. Okay, anyway, all right, guys, that's what I have so far. Coming in at 40 minutes. Wow, long video. The other one was 20 minutes. I'm going to post both of them. God bless you guys, and looking forward to seeing you guys and working with you guys soon. Cheers.